Ironically, I titled my presentation "The Serenity of Surfing." Serenity means peace. In the midst of all this chaos, I guarantee that this surfer here finds peace eventually. I'll show you guys right now in the video. You can see him pulling in right here. Here comes the point of serenity right here, look. Pure bliss. There's just some pretty cool clip there. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so today I'll cover three main points about surfing, and one being the discovery and the history of surfing. The second will be like what makes a wave rideable. Somehow he found out that this wave was rideable. And the third thing is the evolution of surfing.
Can you shut off the video?
Is it still on?
I think so. I thought it was really windy in here.
Oh, it's windy?
Press exit. It's yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Alright.
We're good.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Alright. So when was surfing first discovered by the rest of the world? To many, it is no surprise that surfing was invented by the Hawaiians. And well, first off, I'm credible to speak on this because I've done my research and I am I have firsthand experience as an avid surfer. And so the Hawaiians have invented the art of surfing, and there's no surprise to that because they are so close to the water, they're surrounded by water. And the first European visit to Hawaii occurred in 1778, and that is there are actually recordings of those European voyagers. They actually made paintings of the natives surfing in 1778, which is quite amazing in my mind. And so yeah, it's very good. There was a Captain James Cook. He sailed from England all the way to Hawaii. He was in search of obviously that passage from the Atlantic to the Pacific and all that. And he evidently didn't find it. That the native Hawaiians actually ended up killing him because they didn't understand like who this foreigner was or anything. But yeah, that's actually an actual like pencil drawing that they made of the surfers, and it's pretty cool. So the history of surfing. This picture was taken in 1907. As you can see, you have actually it seems like two different colored people, really. It kind of seems like this guy's a little bit lighter colored than him. So he might have like immigrated into Hawaii because this guy seems more native. And you can tell that they're riding these very flat wooden boards, and looks like they're all having a pretty good time. And okay, let's see. All right. There we go. So I'm going to talk about a little bit more into the evolution of surfing and how it became more of a prominent thing today. The Endless Summer was a movie created in 1966, and throughout that time, surfing was considered like a sport really for hippies and like drug users, like people who really just hung out at the beach all day, had nothing going for them in life or anything. And what this movie did was actually it brought surfing to the big screen, and it really helped promote the growth of this sport, So the Endless Summer created a new image for surfers, and it was easily the most influential film for the evolution of the sport, according to LAweekly.com. And considering that I have seen the movie as well, I would also believe so as well. And so watching the movie makes you want to go surf, and that's what I love to do. And according to Jess Ponting, founder of the Center for Surf Research, the Endless Summer planted an adventure seed in millions of young people's minds. And this is in 1966, so this is really at the beginning of surfing culture in California. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about how are rideable waves created, like there are a bunch of waves, but not every single wave can be created or can be ridden, you know? So step one is a swell. Like there must be movement within the ocean caused by mainly wind, but there's also tectonic movement on the sea floor that creates this energy, and it'll travel for thousands of miles before it gets to our coast here in California. And it is the swell that is needed to create that bump in the water. So let's see. So yeah, the swell creates the bump in the water, and the waves are formed through wind and the actual location of where these waves are coming from. So step one was the swell, and step two is the wind. So even if there's a swell present, it doesn't mean the quality of the waves will be present due to the heavy impact of wind on the surf. So the direction that the wind is blowing immensely impacts the conditions of the wave. So if the wind is blowing against the wave, it'll crest the wave and it'll make it hollow and like super nice. Like that's how you see people get like barreled, get inside the wave actually. But if the wave is blowing if the wind is blowing from the back of the wave, blowing toward the shore, then that will mean that the wave is crumbling, like it's getting pushed down. So you're not gonna be able to get into it, but it still could be fun surf. So the wind definitely has a huge impact on the way waves are formed, and where you surf actually really matters as well. So you may have thinking surfing is just for beaches and stuff, but no, you go off, okay, it's already time's up. Okay, well every surfer starts somewhere. I just want to say that learning to surf is a fantastic idea for those interested in something new. All of us are given the opportunity since we live in Southern California. And I just want to wrap things up. Today I briefly explained the discovery and history of surfing along with what creates the waves, us surfers ride, and what creates the waves that us surfers ride, and what the future holds for this amazing sport. Thank you.